I just wanted
So
to ask, because I figured you'd be knowledgeable, and I didn't quite get the whole
no, I mean
debate.
it's totally fair. The main thing, yeah, is like the video that I just sent. Like Hacks gives a
Hmm.
couple examples of like why it's good. But yeah, anyway. So it hasn't even been like a full week since our last lesson. I think last time what did we talk about? We talked about spacing a lot. We talked about
Yeah,
how spacing can impact your decision making. I'm pretty sure. Um, we talked about reactability. I know that, like how to keep yourself unpredictable in neutral.
yeah,
What else did we talk about? How to practice moving and kind of not deal with nerves. How to deal with camping.
yeah.
Um, so how have you been finding that? Have you had much chance to play? I know it's only been a couple days, but
Yeah, I played online a few sets. Um, I felt like I actually did get a little bit better. Like I was able to use it. Um, let's see.
and for what it's worth, I mean, I wouldn't expect you to just have it all down in 5 days, like, but
Yeah,
does the concept kind of make sense, like when you're playing?
the concept certainly makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely, I always, I always lack practice. I mean, I
Hmm.
think that's going to be true for a long time, but
Right. Okay.
theory and practice are different. I could send you one game, which I thought was went pretty fine, pretty
Hmm.
okay.
Sure. Yeah.
If you, well,
Yeah, we can just watch it while we
let's
talk.
see.
Like, there's no harm in that. Why? So why do you think this game went well?
Um, because I've been practicing edge guarding Fox, and I drop it many times in the beginning of the match, but
Hmm.
by the end, I finally get it together and I edge guard it.
Okay. Um.
And even though I do rush in at several unwise points, I think I'm doing it at least a little bit less.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can definitely take a look. Um. So you just okay. So you just want to look. We're not like. Are we? Do you want to talk about this match, like for the purpose of the lesson today, or we just
No,
want to
just
like
as it,
talk about it?
not necessarily. I have a match which gave me more problems,
Okay. Okay.
which might be more productive to talk about.
Sure. Yeah. We'll just keep a look.
Last night I was playing this Ness who just kept beating me, and it was driving me crazy.
Do you remember their tag at all?
King Ness, the Waracle.
Oh, I'm not sure who that is actually.
Yeah,
Um.
I mean,
But
I
okay.
assume. I mean, you don't need to be famous to beat me, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's just Ness is a pretty uncommon character. There's only so many of them, right? So.
I think their main might be Luigi.
Okay.
Like
Sure.
they kind of spin, but
Sure.
they're
Okay.
like
Yeah.
practicing Ness as a secondary.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Well, I do see that you're dash dancing a little more, which is good. Um, and you're not jumping from like crazy far distances, which is nice to see. You're using your
Yeah.
down tilt, staying grounded, which is good. Like to see that. Down tilt's really important. Um, okay.
Here, in the meantime, I'll send you this like one of the
Sure,
Ness
yeah.
matches. Um,
Okay, that was a great edge guard. The going out there, like that. Big fan of the run out there, especially when Fox doesn't have a jump
hmm,
or he's like low below the ledge. That was pretty good.
yeah, I feel
And
like
this is good
the
too.
edge guards. I got better.
Like that you when you do recover, because it was pretty scary there for a minute. You don't try and scrap your way like a lot of people would here,
Hmm.
where they try and fight the best character in the game in the corner where he wants you to be. You go right back to the center of the stage and you start controlling the center with the down tilts. That's really good. Love that you just
Hmm.
run past him here because that's what like top level Mars do. They just run to the center because it's
Yeah,
good.
I've been watching a lot of Marth coaching husband.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure you know
yeah,
those videos.
yeah, yeah. I have. Yep,
Yeah.
those are pretty good. Good stuff in there. Um, yeah, I come back to those videos every now and then. Um, okay. Also, I realized recently you can actually use the tab button to speed up slippy matches, which I find really cool.
Oh,
Because I want to
that
look at some
is
of your edge
useful.
guards. Let's not like overthink this
Yeah,
match. We'll watch
yeah,
the other
yeah.
one, but I do want to see like when you get this guy off stage, what we're dealing with here.
I
So,
mess. I definitely drop a couple of edge guards like there.
mhm.
Well,
Yep, mistimed the side B on
Yeah,
that one.
there. Yep.
Okay. Hit jump out the forwarder there.
I
So
think the middle of this match, we're both playing pretty well.
yeah.
I mean,
The
badly.
the two
I
times you've
mean,
killed
sorry,
him,
badly.
you
Um,
you do go off stage with forward air, which I really like. I'm a big fan of the Zane run off forward airs against Fox. I think those are always really good. So let's see what
yeah,
you
see,
can
we
do
had this
here.
long middle section where we're kind of, oh, yeah, but I do reverse him there.
Yep. Okay, yeah, that's funny. I would be a little careful about doing this specifically.
Yeah.
There's one thing we haven't talked about yet, which is like the most common new player bad habit, which is double jumping in an area like this. Because this is like a free shine spike if he's ready for it.
Yeah, because then you could just get, yeah.
Yeah, you get shined, you don't, then you're just stuck with up B. You can't even like side B and make it back either. But you caught him lacking here, so that was sweet. Okay. And then here.
And then the last edge guard, I think I did it pretty well.
Yep, good down tilts. Good counter. Yep. Clean. The only way you could have made this cleaner here was when you get him in a spot like this is great. This is like everything you need. The second you see that they like dip low below the ledge, they like have bad DI, you know you can go out there, right?
Yeah.
So already like you don't have to like stay here in down tilt, but it's hard to get past this anyway. So this isn't bad. Like this is totally fine. It's just he could go for a dramatic angle like up here, but you still have time to cover it. So the down tilt's actually still totally good. But here, after you hit the down tilt, like 9 times out of 10, when you hit Fox or Falco, or even Captain Falcon with the down tilt, there's no reason to not run down here and either just spike him with a down air. I like to like go here and I'll do an up B, and I'll like up B their up B. I'll up B back to stage, and that kills them off to the side. You could run off forward air here. You could like run down here and do a side B. You could like run off.
Your
a little
timing
bit,
has to be really good with Fox
here.
though, or you get burned.
Well, you would think that, but you don't
with
actually.
With a reverse up B, right?
No, you don't have to time it so much where you're hitting him in between the flames. You can space your sword, because if we look at Mars' sword, when you get the up B out, it actually goes quite a bit in front of him, and while he's invincible, right? You have like one frame of invincibility. The first frame, the sword is actually out. So if you activate it at the right time, while spacing it, like you can hit him with the edge of the sword. It's gonna hit it. That's like the stronger hitbox too, right? So you could totally space that. Like the Firefox, we could look at Fox's frame data too, but like the Firefox hitbox is not as big as you'd think. It's like, you know. Sorry, I'm trying to. There we go. Like it only is in front of him by so much, right? Like pixels, really. But like nothing your sword couldn't outrange. You know? Like look at this one or this one, right? Like you don't have to like have it the circle completely memorized, but the idea is like it is easiest to hit him either near his head, where you know it's not that big, or near his feet, where like he's actually like completely unprotected here, right? But yeah, anyway, so yeah, you could hit him with anything though, right? Like you could hit him with a forward air here, down air, like I said. Like you could double jump back and down air him. Like the idea is like when Fox is low below the ledge, you gotta go down there and hit him, because otherwise something like this counter here, you're just giving it another chance to like do something, right? And like here, you do the right thing. You go down and kill him. So treat your down air or your down tilt here the same way you treat your counter, where it's like once you hit him, he's dead there. That's the only way you can make that better. Otherwise, this was a really solid edge guard. Okay. Let's check this one out. But that is like important to have in your edge guarding flowchart, so to speak. Like once they're in a bad spot, you just go get them. Okay, so we'll watch this as we talk and just have it for the sake of the VOD. But why do you think
this? I have to say, like I don't. I'm like pretty unfamiliar with the Ness matchup.
Okay. So what were some things that he was doing that was giving you some trouble? I would imagine he probably gets a lot of dash attacks on you. Dash attack I always find is really hard for.
Actually, I don't remember there being too many dash attacks. Yeah, there's one. Yeah,
Yep.
ironically, that's
Yep.
like commentator's curse.
Yep. For sure.
Um, a lot of his like the down smash hitbox, I'm not familiar with it.
Okay.
And I do know the theory of edge guarding Nest. You know, he's a pretty terrible recovery,
Hmm.
but I feel like he always slipped by me. I tried to like go out and swipe him before he could really swipe him out of his double jump,
Okay. Well,
but I can never really catch him.
what he's doing in neutral for the most part, like when you guys have a chance, like spots like this, right? Like where you guys are
Yeah,
just standing still. For the most part, he's using 3 moves so far. He's using
yeah,
he uses forward air here, but he hasn't used that a ton yet actually. But he's mostly using dash attack, down air, and this down smash.
yeah.
Um
There, I just killed myself. So
yeah, I mean, whatever,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
uh but let's kind of talk about like spots like this, right? Like this, where you can, when no one has an advantage or a disadvantage really, like how can you win the interaction, right? So
hmm,
the thing to understand about Ness, oh, I just skipped ahead a ton. Hopefully it went back. Yep, there we go. This is a perfect example. Uh, the thing to understand about Ness, he has 0 range as a character, right? Like he is very, very stubby. So much so that even from a distance like this, you're still able to hit him with a side B and when he tries to grab you, and it's like not even close, right? Like that's, of course, this is like
yeah,
SDI, and it looks further away than it is. But the point I'm trying to make, this is like while you're doing a side B forwards at him. Do you know what I mean? Like you dashed forward and then did the side B. This is without even like drifting back with end attack or wave dashing back and then doing the attack, right? He still struggles with the
yeah,
range. And there's only so many moves that Ness has that have a lot of range, right? Like I know not to like bring up the frame data every time we're talking about the game because I don't think that matters, but just looking at his hitboxes, right? Where's Ness on here? We're not going to get into the frame data, like I said. We're just going to look at the hitboxes, right? His jabs are all like very close to him, like no big disjoint or range on that, right? His forward tilt's got like a little bit. There's something there, but again, it's pretty connected to his body. If you were to hit this with your sword, this would connect. Your sword would beat it, right? So you're not really worried about that. Same thing with up tilt. Same thing with down tilt. Down tilt's got a little bit, but yours just like got way more, right? If we look at Marth down tilt, if you guys are both gonna attack low, like night and day, I feel like, right? Your arm here and then
yeah,
all this compared to his leg and then a little bit of that. I mean, forward smash for forward smash, you're just gonna win every time, right? It's got disjoint, sure, but like let's compare that to the real giant monstrosity that's this one, right? Um, so like really, all of his ground moves, he's got no range on them, right? The only other difference he would have, I'm trying to find where it is on this website. The only exception to that is his dash attack, actually. Which is why I was saying you probably got hit by a lot of them. Because it's the only move where he's able to go a really far distance, like stuff like this, right? Like this little flash, it's hard to see, but there is a red circle here. It's the only move he has where there's a lot of like hitbox out there, right? The effects are making this difficult
yeah.
to see. But it's out for a really long time, and it's really easy to catch people with this, right? With where these sparks go. The biggest problem with this down smash, though, it's very, very weak. It only does about 4% a hit, a 5% maybe. And it doesn't really have like a ton of knockback on it either. So what that means is you're able to crouch cancel that all the time. So there's never really much of a reason for you to ever jump against Ness, right? Like he doesn't have like a Fox down tilt or like a Sheik dash attack or a Peach dash attack or like a Falco laser, right? Like stuff that you need to get around. He actually has nothing to outrange you except for dash attack, which again, you can stay grounded against and just crouch or even just shield it. And it's a really laggy move, right? So that you get a punish against that. So
Well, he does have PK Fire.
He does have PK Fire, but again, really, really slow. And if you shield it, even if you can't punish it, he doesn't get any. He doesn't have like a frame advantage like he would with like Falco Laser, right? or he doesn't really like, he is stuck in lag after that side B is out. Let's see. Okay, so he has the side B out, right? Now it's technically out. Let's say the earliest you shield this one. We could even say at the longest distance though. Let's say the absolute furthest that it's out. Frame 38, mind you. But, so really slow move. But even after it's done, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, like 31, 32. The point being, such an extreme amount of lag that you can like wave dash out of shield and grab it. You could let go of shield, walk up and forward smash him. Like, you can literally do anything against that move, right? Now if it's space,
does it burn if it hits your shield though?
Nope, not in melee. In Smash Ultimate it would, but in melee I'm pretty sure you can just shield it. I could be wrong about that. We can test it out, but even still, my point being, he is so laggy after that is, like, if you shield it, even if you get hit by it, you can, do you know SDI? Do you know that mechanic? Where you, like, wiggle out of multi-hits? You can just, like, mash up and away on the C-stick and get out of it, and it's like, you take, what? Let's see how much damage it does. 2%? Like, Falco Laser does more than that, you know? So it's like, it's really not a move you have to be scared about, ever, in my opinion, right? Like, he's too laggy to get a follow-up off of it. It doesn't kill you.
In this match, sorry, there's lag, and sometimes I feel like I try to say something totally at the right time, and then I don't come in at the right time.
All I'm trying to say here is that there isn't really much of a reason for you to ever have to do anything more in your defensive game here against Ness, other than just shielding, wave dashing, and dash dancing. That's all you need, which you can already do, right? And the problem is, if you're defensive all the time, that's going to let him like trying to be a little aggressive. But again, he can't be aggressive because you defend so well against it that you actually counter hit him in this matchup, like without having to really try to. Does that make sense? So sure, you could like rip a bunch of dash attacks of your own or like a bunch of S smashes, but if he shields it, you're pretty done for. But like, he can't attack you on the ground, right? He's too slow. And he doesn't have the range to do it without you getting away or hitting him first. So the only thing that really leaves him with is his aerials, right? And same thing is his grounded moves. Like, his head is out here. You could just forward smash this at any time, and it would just conk him on the head, you know? Forward air, the exception, I think, but let's talk about back air, right? Back air's got a little bit of disjoint, but again, not much. Your forward smash could hit this. Up air's got a bit, but again, like, you could down air it if you're above him. And down air, it's pretty good. It's got a little bit of disjoint, but again, like, not much. The biggest problem with down air is it doesn't really have much lag, and it's easy to shield poke Marth's head when he's shielding. That's mostly when you'll see down air. So, in other words, back air isn't really the greatest because, you know, it's his one kill move aerial, so you just don't really want to interact with this much. It's not worth trading with his back air, right? His neutral air is negative disjoint. His head pokes out on it. So it's not really worth hitting you with this move if we're talking about just on stage. Same thing with up air. He'll just get, you know, if you forward air this, your sword's gonna go right through him, right? So the only moves he really has to hit you with in the air, because he can't hit you on the ground really easily. Like, he has to make a crazy, crazy read that you do not have to give him, and it's not something that's like a risk. Like, the risk reward's all in your favor on the ground. The only thing he has to hit you with here is his forward air, which actually does have a decent amount of disjoint, and his down air, which, you know, if you shield it and he is right above you, it might poke you, but you can angle your shield up and then it won't, right? The problem with these two moves also, they lose completely to all your tilts. You could up tilt a forward air. I would forward tilt it for the most part. We're just tilts. Like, this move just completely invalidates anything Ness does, basically, if you can space it right. And if he's on the ground, so does this move, right? Especially down tilt is really good if you think Ness is going to play grounded against you, because you're already holding down. So if you get hit while you're doing a down tilt, chances are you'll probably crouch cancel against it anyway, and then you can, like, grab him, right? And if you grab against Ness, like you said earlier, his recovery and his disadvantage state, kind of like how we talked about, like he is so bad in the air when you ever fight him in the air. You don't even have to hit him with your attacks, like your aerial attacks. You can, and you should maybe, but like you don't have to. You could even use your tilts. So if you miss an aerial, it's fine because you can still throw it a tilt after and they're low lag, right? They'll still beat everything he has. So anytime you get a grab, you can just throw Ness up in the air, either get a big combo, or he's in so much disadvantage that he's forced to go off stage. And oh wait, Ness's recovery is also terrible. So it all kind of like, all his weaknesses like add up crazy in this matchup, you know? But you have to know how to abuse them. So that is what I'm assuming is going to be the biggest problem when we're watching this. Is you likely are not playing the ground game right
also,
and letting
I
him
get
do
like
some
crazy
stuff.
arthritis in this match.
Okay, well we can talk about how to edge guard him too. That's no problem.
I think he goes up to over 200.
Okay, we'll definitely fix that. But like even this is a great example. This single forward air you get at like 60%, right? He does the bad player thing, which is to mash his double jump the second he's done being hit, and you hit him here, right? Which again, he's starting up a down air here. Right, we can see the down air come out right here. Here's him double jumping. Here's the startup of down air, right? Looks like this. I mean, you could just take my word for it also. But, like, see, there's the foot starting up. And then, you know, it's so slow that he doesn't even get it out. It's, like, frame 17. So you get your forward air before it's even out. But, like, look, what does Ness have in this position now? He doesn't have a double jump. He doesn't have any attacks that can, like, outrange you and hit you first. He literally has nothing, right? So you can just keep pushing him off stage all day if you want. The only problem is you don't throw out another attack. Oh, no, you do. Okay, perfect. So now you just need to stop him from grabbing the ledge, which, like, a down tilt could do that. You could, like, throw out a forward air here. Yeah. That would kill him, but you double jump so he gets the ledge. But, like, do you see what I mean? Like, how bad of a spot he gets in really quickly? And it's like...
I think he air dodges, and...
No, he just grabs the ledge. He doesn't air dodge here.
No, he just grabbed his ledge.
Yep. Like, you just missed the attack, basically, right? But, like, he literally is just hoping to God he can grab something, right?
Yeah.
And then now you're at Marth's worst spot, which is at the ledge. But, like, even still, right? Like, you're jumping, doing this air-to-air stuff. And like I said, this is the one move that Ness has that is, like, kind of good in the air or, like, kind of good against Marth. He has 3 moves, right? He has dash attack, he has forward air, and he has down air. Those are the only moves he has. All of those lose to forward air, by the way. But let's even take this example with his forward air, right? I actually think this move is kind of annoying to deal with. Because like you're seeing here, you're completely out spacing him, right? But it just has so much disjoint, and Marth leans forward on a lot of his attacks that lean forward, that you actually are the one that gets hit first here, right? And it does have like some decent range on it. So I've had to figure out how to beat this move myself because the best Ness player in the world, Joey Bats, he also lives in Toronto. So I'm quite familiar with this matchup. Ness's biggest problem against Marth is that he can never make it back to stage if you use forward tilt. Like I was saying, forward tilt beats every move that Ness has in the air. There's literally not a single move that it can't beat, right? So if you ever see Ness double jumping at the ledge around like this, forward tilt's a great move to throw out because if you're wrong, it has so little lag, he can't whiff punish you for it easily, right? But if you're right and he does try and attack you here, or he does double jump above the ledge, you just beat this move and now he's back off stage without a double jump, right? So instead of a forward smash here, if you forward tilted, you would have hit him first. Because forward tilt also is much faster than forward smash, right? Like, I know I said we wouldn't be talking about frame data so much, but like 7 frames versus 10, right? It's much faster. And also, most people don't consider this forward tilt actually reaches further than forward smash. So you can actually stand even further back. And it starts, what's nice about it starts on the ground too. So it's really good against catching people that are like rising up above the ledge like he is, right? So then, like, you know, he's not living here at all. And then he's just back off stage below the ledge without a jump. And, like, same thing like we just talked about with Fox. He's just a sitting duck. Go get him, right? And, like, you know how to do that, so you're good. Okay, here's another spot where he just double jumps up. I'm sure he lands in that, whatever. But, like, let's say he's not he is looking at the screen, let's say, right? This is not great because he can air dodge
Yeah.
here and then go away.
I was surprised when I hit him with that.
Yeah. But like all you have to do here, wave dash back and just throw out a forward tilt. At the very worst, he grabs the ledge, but Ness can't ledge dash because he has that weird double jump, right? So like, it is risk free for
Oh
you to throw out
yeah.
that forward tilt. And even still, like the ledge isn't necessarily like the best spot against a character like Marth, who's so good at controlling the stage, right? So it's like at the very worst, you have him in a bad spot. At the best, you kill him, right? So, this is something.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think I was trying to air dodge.
Sure, yeah. I was gonna say, be careful about the second you're out of stun, instantly using your double jump because you get rid of all your recovery resources by doing that, right? Your main recovery resource, I should say, which is double jumping. So see
Yeah.
here, like you get hit by the PK fire, you actually get SDI out of it, right? So look, you're like stuck in it. Hold to the left, and then you're out of it, and you took 3 whole %, and he's too slow to follow up. So it doesn't do anything, right? Especially if you shield it, you can just punish him for using it. So let's talk about this interaction now. Here, right, we were saying spots like this. No character has an inherent advantage, right? How do you win here, right? What does Ness have to come hit you here? He has his forward air. We already talked about how forward tilt will completely invalidate his forward air, right, at the ledge. Same thing on stage. So that's really no good. He doesn't want to be in the air anyway. If he gets hit by like an up tilt or your forward air or a nair first, like he's going to be in a really bad spot. So it's really risky for him to go in the air here. So what does he have left? He has his down air. Well, that's same story as the forward air, but worse. He only has dash attack. But, down tilt hits him first, right? And even if you keep mashing that down tilt, you would have crouch canceled it here. You don't even have to back off. That's how like bad Ness is in some spots against Marth, right? Like I'm not saying like no one can win with Ness. Obviously, if you're a skilled player, you can figure out ways to outplay people. But if you have the blueprint, like I'm beating the best Ness in the world and I'm four-stalking him all the time because it's just that brutal of a matchup, right? And like I think Joey Bats is a really great player. I think if he played another character, he could do really well. It's just Ness is, he's got a lot of weaknesses against Marth if you play the matchup right. So like here again, crouching is really, really strong and just staying grounded, right? You don't have to dash dance. You don't have to jump or do all these things because he's too slow and doesn't have the range to come hit you. So you can just hold down here instead of trying to forward smash him.
Yeah, I think I don't crouch cancel enough in general.
It is something that new players don't ever do because it's not intuitive, I would say. Especially because like sometimes you'll crouch and you just get hit for it. You got to learn to kind of like anticipate people, and it also involves knowing your percents and when you can. But low tiers generally a good way to learn it because you can almost always crouch cancel a lot of their moves because they're just kind of weak. The truth about melee low tiers that is not given enough credit on like Twitch streams and commentary and whatever is that melee low tiers actually are good characters and they can do a lot of stuff, but their weaknesses are just so rough that when you do abuse them, they just become that much worse. But if you don't abuse them, then it's actually pretty hard to deal with them, right? Like this guy is hitting you with forward air a lot, and he is hard to recover edge guard. But if you know how to do it, then it gets a lot easier, right? But when you don't, it is a fair fight as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
But like all this extra credit that he's getting for just you not knowing how
I
to
think
play
they
against him.
benefit a lot in general from the lack of matchup knowledge.
Yeah, of course they do, right? Like that's why a lot of people play them too, right? So let's say in this edge guard situation, right? You hit him off with a jab, whatever. And it doesn't really matter, but point being, if he double jumps here, right? You can throw out instead of forward smash, a forward tilt here. And if he rises up at the ledge like this, he's dead, right? He gets forced to go out off stage like this. But the forward tilt is so little lag, you can just throw it out anyway and then just keep your eye on him and like, oh, he's off stage going here. And now you can go hit him. Or you could forward smash him at the ledge if you wanted, or you could counter him or whatever. You could grab the ledge and invincibly back air. You could literally do anything you want, right? But look how much harder it is now, because like now that you're letting him live, he's going up to like 200, like you said. And he made it back with the forward air here. If you knew about the forward tilt or like the up tilt or wave dash back forward tilt or anything, he wouldn't be able to hit this, right? So that's kind of how that would work. But like even like here, right? Like you're doing a lot of these approaches when there's a big gap between the two of you. This is what we were talking about last week a little bit, right? Where it's like, it's not to say that you're predictable for doing it, but it's like, why even bother doing it? I know you're down, and people will say, well, you have to approach when you're down, but like, be real. Like, how's Ness going to hit you otherwise? You know, you don't actually have to approach him. You have all the center stage and all the range in the world, right? So I know it feels right to run at him, but that's because it would feel right to do that with like Fox, who's able to do stuff like that. Marth kind of isn't able to do it as much. He can in spots, but like generally not so much.
I just run into the baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, you were kind of stuck in the drift flag there, but yeah, like here, like even though you dropped the combo here with the Nair, maybe you could have got like a forward smash or a grab, maybe. Like you start jumping here a lot and swinging, like you don't have to do that, right? And that opens you up to get hit by him, right? He whiff punishes you. Now you're stuck at the ledge, and now you're scrapping in the corner with him, and it's just like it goes from there, right? Like that literally all went from there. Like that could have been completely different had you know what to do. So not to say like, oh dude, you really need to work on XYZ. It's just you got matchup checked. But now you know, you'll have this recording for the rest of your life. You know, anytime you need to go, how do I beat Ness? You can go watch this, and then you know, you'll be a real problem for them going forward.
Yeah. When I'm 90 years old.
Yeah, there you go.
Rewatching the Ness matchup.
I mean, I'm sure there's, if you want as well, I'm sure there's tons of matches of Marth players who have beaten Joey Bats too. Like, let's see. I don't know if I have recorded sets with him. Why are these like Republicans? What is going on here? Legion, yeah, doesn't look like it. Now we're just getting Bill Maher gross. But like there's you could talk about like
it's the algorithm.
Yeah. I'm sure you could watch any Joey Bats set if you can find them. Like here, I'm sure Tazio does some stuff like that in here.
Oh yeah, Tazio plays at the stock exchange quite a lot.
Yep, yeah, he's a New York player.
I'm going tomorrow.
Like, he's actually not. You're going to Toronto? No.
I'm going tomorrow to the stock exchange.
Oh, sorry, I misheard you. Yeah, sweet dude. But yeah, Tazio doesn't know how to play this matchup clearly because look what he's doing. Like he's doing tons of swings and like he's playing Joey Bats, who's like really really good, right? And like see that forward air, just it goes right against him. He's jumping and he's jumping and he's jumping and like that just lets Joey like get his opening against him, right? But like look at all the moves he's using. It's just forward air. It's a lot of dash attacks, a lot of forward air, down air. Like it's really the only moves he can use against Marth, you know? Something laggy like forward smash, Joey gets a grab and now a little bit of a combo. But it's still close because the hits Tazio does get, like, they just mean that much more for Marth, you know? But again, like, if you don't know how to abuse it, all of a sudden Ness looks pretty real, right? So, yeah, this is a pretty good example of, like, what not to do. No shot at Tazio or anything. It's just he clearly doesn't have a good Ness in his region, you know? Which, like, not many of them do. But yeah, dude, it is brutal.
There's no Ness that regularly comes to the New York.
Yeah. I'm sure I could find sets of me against Joey if you really wanted, but like I'm like double, triple four stalking Joey in bracket when I play him. Like I trust me when I say like what I'm telling you will work against like every Ness player. You just gotta put in the time to try it. But yeah, we have 30 minutes or so. That was a pretty quick one. If you want to look at anything else.
I could send you more, or if there's like more general tips you want to talk about.
I think that's probably a good idea. Honestly, let's talk about some general tips because some things we touched on a little bit in just watching you play, like some bad habits that you have that I think you need to beat as soon as possible if you can. And I talk about this pretty early with most Metafy students, but for you, we've been watching a lot of odds so far. But one thing you need to get good at quickly, I would say, is dealing with this. This is what I call the no-fly zone. So the white Marth here, he got hit off stage. It doesn't matter what he got hit off stage with. We could say it's a forward smash, down tilt, grab, like literally anything, right? But the second he is out of hit stun, he does two things that are really bad. One that you can see in the picture, and the other one that you just have to trust me, he did it. The first bad habit that any new player has, and there's a million YouTube videos telling you the exact same thing, in Melee especially, is they double jump the second their hit stun's done. Did you know what I mean by that? Like double jumping when hit stun's done? Like the second you're able to like...
most of the time, I'm not too bad about that.
I think Marth players struggle with it less than like other characters, because what they'll do a lot of the time is they'll forward air, which is not nearly as bad, but it kind of replaces that habit with something else, you know? So what I would recommend, the first thing we're going to talk about, to not double jump at a hit stun and not just rely on using forward air, because better players will catch you for the forward air too. They'll get underneath you and expect the forward air. When you, like Foxes will up throw you, let you forward air, then they get under you with like an up tilt or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you can do instead, I'm just going to have this Fox up smash me, right? I'm just going to make a Fox up smash me at like 30%, let's say. It doesn't have to be deep. Oh, I want my percent to be 30, actually. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, good. Okay. And I'm going to make him up smash. There we go. Okay. So when you're in a spot like this, right? Like I'm going to make this auto restore here. Auto restore. You could forward air the second you're out of stun, right? Right? Like the second I'm done with that like little I don't know why my percent's going away, but like the second I'm done with the flip, the spinning animation, I can throw out that forward air, right? And hit Fox, right? That's when most people will use their double jump.
Yeah.
Right? The second it's done, like, and I can turn on my controller display here. Like I am mashing this forward air or this double jump when it's out, right? Like I can't do it right away. Right?
Yeah.
But doing the forward air that most Marth players do here isn't also as good, because again, they could get underneath it. Like he could call it out with like an up air or whatever, right? I'm not going to do it just for the sake that I'm bad at controlling Uncle Punch, but take my word for it, right? So what good players do here, pay attention to my gray stick. Do you see how like I got a tap jump there by accident? But do you see how like the second stun is done,
you wiggle out of it.
Yeah, exactly, right? And that's all I'm doing. I can even wiggle out here at 0% and not have to tech, right? If I don't wiggle out, I have to tech, right? Otherwise, I'll get that, I'll go in the miss tech animation, right? But if I wiggle out, I just stand right up,
yeah,
right?
I see. You know, Zane's really, really good at doing this.
Yeah, he is, yeah. Technically speaking, you don't have to mash it, right? Some people mash it because, you know, it just gets you out like the second fastest for hit stun. But really, like, if you know the timing, like, the second hit stun's done, you can just tap it and you're good to go, right? So there's no, like, it can just be one tap. It's just a smash input, not a tilt, right? Like, I can't, like, tilt because then I'm just going to drift, right? I have to get, like, a smash, like, if I was going to do, like, a smash attack or, like, a dash. Do you know what I mean? So that is the real good player habit, is the second you're at a hit stun, tap the stick. If you need to mash it to get a sense of timing on stun, that's fine. But what's good about the tap is like, well, then you're able to do something like a forward air anyway, right? Like I could do the forward air, but I can only do the forward air the second I'm out of stun, right? And that's why I think a lot of people do the double jump. It's like it makes them feel actionable right away. But you're fully actionable the second you get the tap out, right? Like I messed up the timing there, but that's That's one habit to get used of. If you ever see yourself forward airing a ton or double jumping immediately at a stun, unless they're like running at you where like the forward air is going to hit them, do the tap. So that's one thing, right? The other thing people struggle with, and we'll go back to the picture for this, that you were doing also, that we talked about at the beginning more so. So you were doing the double jump habit. I saw it a couple times, and you can watch the VOD back. I pointed it out, excuse me. The other thing you were doing was when you are recovering, you double jump above the ledge a lot or near the ledge. So the reason I have this drawn out the way it is and have it like extend a little bit below the ledge, like Marth is like infamous for this, right? About like, let's reset this. We'll do, let's just do this. We'll do Marth Fox. Right, like if you double jump above the ledge, there we go, right? It's over at that point. Like there is nothing that needs to happen other than that. He'll lose his recovery. And there, like he sweet spotted, that's just Uncle Punch being like task kind of thing. But the point I'm trying to make, right, I'll make it so that I double jump. Is this going to work? Nope. Okay, I messed it up. The point I'm trying to make is that I'm going to get gimped by this every time, right? And then I'm just, like I was saying earlier, that like ugly spot where you don't want to be against Fox, right? Or against Marth, where you're just off stage, dead without a jump. But Marth, it's no different. If you get down throwed with Marth here, and you double jump into like a forward air or a nair, or like, let's say you're playing against a Sheik player and you like double jump into her forward air, or you double jump into Fox's back air or a shine, like you're dead, you know? There's no getting around that. So what a lot of people do is, even if, let's say they're like over here, where, can you see my mouse?
Yep.
Okay. Let's say you get hit with like a forward smash and forward smash doesn't kill, and you're like side B, side B, side B, side B, and now you're here. Most people will try even do like a double jump nair and like try and like fight their way back on stage, or double jump forward air, or they'll just like try and hit people off the ledge like you did against that guy who was like asleep at the wheel. But even that is like so risky and often not worth it against better players, because better players in that spot where they were like that Fox who was holding the ledge, they're going to refresh their invincibility. So one, your hit isn't going to work, but two, even if you do try and hit them there, they're going to be invincible when they're back airing you off stage again, right? So the only way you ever get around that is as a complete mix-up. Like it's so bad that they didn't expect, they gave you too much credit, right? Which is like, you got to earn that. So the way you need to start recovering with Marth, and it may be hard for you at first, you have to go low. If you ever are caught double jumping here, it doesn't matter what character you're playing against, better players are going to kill you for this every time. It's the main way you can get early kills in the game. And Mewtwo King is like infamous for this, right? Because back in the day, everyone was always double jumping against Mewtwo King, and Mewtwo King had too many mix-ups in this spot to cover different timings, but he would hit it every time, right?
Doesn't Zane call this the Big Dipper?
I actually haven't heard him call it that, but that probably, I would believe that, you know? The point I'm trying to make, I call it the no-fly zone. You just can never be hanging around here, right? It is asking to be gimped, you know? So let's talk about how to recover with Marth, because I think that'll make things more clear. And like, stop, one, you can like yell and like stop yourself from doing it when it happens, but two, to make sure that you develop a good habit instead too. So the way Marth's recovery works, right, or like any recovery in Melee works, right, is you got to consider like the resources you have to stay off stage longer, and in other words, mix up your timing, right? For Fox, that would look something like shine stalling and then using an up B, or then shine stalling and then doing an instant side B, or maybe just doing an instant side B or doing an up B, you know, and changing your angle where you go, right? Marth can change his angle a little bit, but not as dramatically as something like Fox, who goes like straight up or like down at an angle, right? Like Marth can just barely influence his up B. But like Fox, he can influence his timing with the shine stall, right? And this isn't even accounting for like, let's say you get hit off stage and then you're like, oh, shine stall, double jump. Or you do like, oh, double jump, shine stall, or like, let's do like double jumps up B. And then, the point I'm trying to make is you can change things up with Fox, right? Marth only has his double jump to change his timing, or he has his side B. And the side B works pretty similar to a shine stall in the sense that like you just float there for a second the first time you use it. After you use it more than once, you just start falling slower with it. You don't actually like go anywhere. You just technically, what is happening in the game is Marth falls slower. Does that make sense? So the first one stalls you.
Yeah.
After that, you are just falling. And you may notice here, like, if you grab the ledge and go back off stage again, like this, if I don't touch the stage, I'm just going to keep falling slow. You have to actually, like, touch the stage and land on it in order to get that floating one back, right? So those are your main things you have to mix up your timing. So the way Marth recovers in, like, every matchup, I think the only exception is sometimes, like, Jigglypuff, because it's hard for her to, like, cover vertical angles sometimes. Every other matchup in the game, pretty much, you want to go really low, and then you want to mix up doing, like, either an instant up B and trying to hit them with the sword, or you want to do, like, a double jump up B, change that timing, or you could do a double jump side B, like the floating one, or you could even do the opposite. You could do float, side, double jump, then side B, or you could even do float, up B, right? Like, there's no, like, visual tell at that point. It's all timing, right? And why the timing is so good is because even when you play against good players that are good at making sure they're invincible when they hit you with stuff like this, they can only hold invincibility for so long, right? It's only there for, like, a literal second, I'm pretty sure, is how long a half second, I'm pretty sure. A literal half second, and, like, you can hang out here for more than a half second, right? And then you can clip them with the up B. And if you're good at spacing your up B, you can make sure that either you don't expose your head kind of thing, and you just grab the ledge when you have the sword out, or you just land on stage, like just barely, right? There's a good video by Pew Pew. I'll link you that kind of goes over this, but there is, like, you can grab the ledge from, like, out here like this. You could go, like, high and then, like, drift in. That's how you can beat, like, some stuff like Marth Killer, right? Like, go out like this. You could go in, like, here. You could go, like, super low into the stage like this. Like, there's different points where you can grab the ledge. But that is the main idea, is, like, you are always mixing up your timing, and you mix up where you space the up B so that they can't hold the ledge against you. They have to give it up, right? Or they risk getting hit, and then, if you get hit on the ledge, I don't know if I can even put Fox there. Let's see. No, it's not going to work. I'd have to do it like this. Right? If you get hit on the ledge here, you just instantly fall. And, like, if he double jumps, you can just do an instant forward air. You could side B, whatever, right? You could even do, like, a double jump nair. You could down air him like that. Like, you get reversal, basically, is the idea I'm trying to get across here, right? So knowing how to recover and knowing how to avoid bad habits when you do get hit is really, really important. Good defense is just as important as good offense. And I would argue for Marth, you have to start with good offense or good defense before you can even get into stuff like hitting really crazy combos or stuff, which, like, most people will learn it that way. But, like, you are going to struggle so hard to get hits and get blown up so hard if you can't defend yourself. Sorry, I stuttered there for a second. So that, I would say, is, like, when I'm watching you play, one of your bigger habits that I'm like, you gotta fix that quick. And it takes time. I'm not saying you have to, like, fix it by, like, next week, or else, you have no hope as a player or anything like that. I'm more saying that is the one to look out for the most. So you have You already have a little bit of homework on things to do, like when it comes to spacing and not making yourself so predictable. You have homework on what to do to seal out some edge guards more against low tiers, and now you have homework on how to do. You have homework on how to recover and defend yourself, basically. And like we already talked about crouch cancel too.
A lot of homework.
Yeah, a lot of homework, and it's not gonna like go away, right? Like you always have to like relearn some things and like relearn where to apply it or what different options are available at a given point or yada yada. But that's the idea. Does that make sense? Like the main thing you need to work on right now is your recoveries and going low and being comfortable going low and changing your timings. Like just because someone grabs the ledge doesn't mean that it's over for you. Like you're still in a bad spot. Don't get me wrong, but like you're giving yourself the most amount of opportunity to make it back if you go there versus like trying to swing at them or even just double jump over them, right? Like, and like this picture shows, this double jump range is high. Like I would say it goes maybe even a little bit higher than like this, how I have it drawn where it's like above the side platform. Because all this is just one full hop back air away from just dying, right? And they don't have to go out and hit you. They just have to like put up a wall, an imaginary wall here and like stop you from getting back, right? So that's why I'm like, you just got to do it the right way. And if you sweet spot, like look how low you can grab the ledge from. You're not even actually technically touching it in this little box that he has. All these different circles are different points where you can like end your up B and still grab the ledge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of nuance to it. But it's something like I like not to, self-glaze or anything, but I'm pretty good at. And I learned it from this PPU video. Not this one specifically. I think he actually has an older, more outdated version of it. Maybe. I don't know if it's this one, the true sweet spot. Yeah, it is. Here's the original that he made. So maybe I'll link you both just in case there's different info in these. But this is the one I used to watch like 8 years ago in 2017 when I started playing Melee. And this will also like make it so that it doesn't feel like being stuck at the ledge is like the most miserable thing ever, like a lot of people will find like Melee is really hard compared to like Ultimate or Smash 4 was what it was when I was getting into it. Like, well, that game has ledge trumping, and like I know we already talked about how you like the ledge mechanics. I think it's like good, the sign that you can like see a challenge and like overcome it, but you just got to learn how the ledge works, kind of thing. So anyway, that's my rant is over on recovering. Like that is another thing I would say you should learn to fix quick, ideally.
It's funny. Zane is obviously incredibly good at it, and some marks are so good at recovering. But I've also noticed some fairly high-level marks do even still have these habits.
Yeah, for sure they do. And like a lot of them is just from like panic or like autopiloting, right? Like I could watch even Zane and like point out some bad habits of things he does in some matchups or some against some players, right? Like this pressure happens. And it kind of forces you to do things you might not want to do, or like people can coerce you to do things that maybe you think is like a really good mix up that ultimately just maybe isn't in that spot. Like, but it's all you can do is try and get better yourself, right? And like this is just one of the first things I think every Marth learns at some point, right? Like I have tons of VODs of myself even just like ripping an early up B when maybe I probably should have done a later one, or like I could give you an example right now of like here, we'll look at my actual notes. Like last night at like 2 a.m, but I was like, why am I getting hit by this double jump refresh edge guard all the time? So we could watch some of that. Like I'm just getting hit by it. Like what am I doing? So like I know how to beat it, quote unquote, but I'm like, why am I getting hit by this? Because I couldn't realize it while I was playing. So I just saved my file and I'm like, I'm gonna go back and see what I'm actually doing. Like, am I doing too many side Bs? Am I ripping it too early? Am I doing it too late? I don't know. But this guy I was playing, he just kept hitting the double jump and then using the invincibility and hitting, and I didn't hit him, and I was like, well, that isn't right. I know Marth can hit him because I've done it before. But anyway, yeah, sometimes
Who are
this
you
is just gonna
playing?
happen. I was playing lowercase hero. He's
Oh yeah,
top 100 Fox.
yeah.
But yeah. Any thoughts on what we talked about today? Any thoughts about? I know I kind of gave you like a, just do this against Ness, just do that, and it'll be fine. But like, is there anything that you thought he was doing particularly well that like you have some thoughts or questions about, or like anything, any thoughts about the recovery stuff we talked about, or disjoint and moves, or anything like that? It could be
I
anything. Like
think
I'm just giving you the floor, basically.
yeah. I think with the Ness, it's true that I should have been forward tilting a lot more than I was forward smashing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he really saw the forward smash coming pretty much every time, and always punished me for it.
Yep. It's also just
Uh,
like, I don't even know if he necessarily saw it coming. It's generally just not that effective against like things like forward air, right? Because the way Marth's body contorts with the move, like Marth moves forward, Ness has that big hitbox, and forward smashes isn't the fastest. Where like his Ness's forward air is pretty quick, right? So it's more likely to hit you first. You know, if you're spaced perfectly and you do it early first, you can totally hit him with the forward smash. But it's just like, if the way you were using it, it's much more likely that he was going to hit you, and like the forward tilt is just an easy replacement in all situations, you know? So that's why I was really adamant about that. But yeah.
and I definitely see what you mean with the recovery stuff. Like I've seen enough videos of Zane coaching people and saying, to go low,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just such a hard habit to break sometimes.
Yeah, I find one thing that I did when I was new, and like I still do it, obviously, to an extent, but like I find like melee was like one of the first things I was like, okay, this is like, do you know what I mean by like a hobby? Well, we've talked about this already, I'm pretty sure actually, but like hobbies where you have to like self improve and like learn how to learn. Does that make sense? So like
Yeah,
I think like instruments are like a really good example. Like music's a really good example of that, or like the gym or any like art. Like if you're like an artsy person, like learning technique is another example. But the point I'm trying to make is like I like to make the comparison to instruments a lot because that was what I was into before getting into Smash. Um, like I find like if I'm gonna hit a note wrong when I'm like playing a sequence like a million times over, uh, you know, I'm gonna get mad when it happens. Like I'm like human. I'm not gonna be like, oh shoot, well next time I'll get it right. Like you're gonna make a mistake and be like, oh fuck, like why do I keep messing this up? But like when you do that, like the next time if you really like feel that emotion a little bit, you're like kind of like forced to anticipate it a little bit, you know? So I know it almost sounds crazy. You don't have to like literally get raw angry and like lose your temper or whatever, but sometimes it helps just to like let out a little yelp or just like scream a little bit like when you do it, because like you just feel stupid when you do it, you know, like you just feel silly. So like you kind of just like trick yourself into not doing it the next time, you know, and then it gets a little easier to replace your bad habit with a good one, or like fix what you want to do depending on what it is in melee specifically that's going on. But like it's no different than like learning like wave dashing, or like learning how to like move your hand down the fretboard and like do whatever on the guitar. Like it's just habits, right? um and I think something you can like appreciate about a habit is like it is just as easy to make a good habit as it is to replace a bad one, you know? um so like there are different ways you can go about it, and I think the type of habit that you have can change, like how you need to like address it can change depending on like what it is. But something like recovery is like you're going to recover every match you play. It doesn't matter like how good you are. Like even Zane's recovering, right? So like, but he's just been trained in this and been through the fire so often. Like you got to realize this guy is literally playing like 8 to 12 hours a day on the regular, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but even still, like you can still see him panic in some spots and just rip an early up B that he gets killed for or whatever. I mean, like people are human, but just as much as like people are human, you can change anything that you do in the game. Like it is like very possible. Like there is no secret sauce that he has. He has just worked really hard and is good at learning how to do things, you know? Um, and that's why I think something like coaching is really helpful because like you get the benefit of having someone like guide you through it and like give you tips along the way, like on the actual like game itself. But like you're not alone on that, you know, and you don't have to figure it out by yourself, which is I think very helpful. But um, you know, like I said, like it's different for everybody, like how they go about learning things. So I mean, I can totally understand like being scared about uh wanting to do the high recoveries and like do the thing that's like hard, but ultimately like your choice really. I mean, it's brutal. Like Melee is a brutal game, just like how like guitar can be a brutal instrument depending on what you want to do. But like your choice really is either try it and do it, or don't and then stay where you're at, which like obviously you're here where you are, you want to learn to do it. So sometimes you just got to remind yourself, just like yelling at yourself, even though it can feel like silly in the moment, like looking back, quote unquote, but like it's really not that scary. Like it's just something that you kind of subconsciously build up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't.
I just see it as, yeah, I think it's just going to take time.
Yeah, that's like this is a hard game. Like improvement takes time. Like people like Zane and Cody are the exception where they have just shot up and got good so fast. Like I've been playing this game for 9 years now, you know, and I just got top 100, and I like it is my favorite thing to do in the world is play Melee right now. You know, like I love playing this game even still, but it is a hard game. You know, that's just the reality of it. But it's I think despite what Reddit and Twitter will tell you, like it is a good game to learn and get into, and there's no better time than now to try it. So I think you're doing everything right. I think it's just like you said, it's gonna take time, and you just gotta believe in yourself along the way.
All right. Well, thank you, man.
Yeah, of course. Um, any other thoughts or questions before we leave? Because I know I'm throwing a lot at you here, but just in case if anything's out there, I really don't mind.
Honestly, nothing really comes to mind. I have to tighten up a lot of technical stuff.
Yep.
When I'm in the middle of a match, sometimes like I jump instead of wave dash, and then I'm and then I'm like flying in the corner of the stage and extremely vulnerable. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a basic fix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll come with time. It's no different than like L canceling or anything, you know. But what I would say in terms of like priority for like things to work on that we've talked about, definitely recovery is like the biggest one. You're gonna have to work on this every match you play. Like it doesn't matter what character, how much better or worse they are. Like this is something you want to get good at quick. Not like quick, but you know what I mean. Like something you want to work on quick. And versus
Yeah.
like put it off to another time. The low tier strategy, I know it was mostly like Ness specific. If you can find a Ness, play them, sure. But like think about some of the things that we talked about today. And I know like it might require research, so you know, I don't expect a ton of like labbing and whatever from you because I hate labbing myself. But like think about like character strengths or weaknesses in terms of like the size of their hitboxes or like what they do, right? Like we were talking about Ness and his like low range on stuff, right? There's tons of characters that can apply with. Like Mario is a good example of that, or like
Yeah.
Pichu, or you know, a lot of like, to be fair, a lot of the low tiers, right? Like the low tiers, generally speaking, with Marth, their biggest problem is like Marth doesn't have to be aggressive and go for things like run up nair or run up grab or anything like that. He can kind of just play really defensive. So try and think of some things if you run into other characters that are like, what are ways I can like make their day worse? Pretty much like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But like, that's another good just like mental exercise, I think, on top of just like grinding your general tech. But I think what's good about today, what we talked about with like Ness, is it is building on what we talked about earlier this week about just like, rather than using like the theory of like don't run in here because you don't want to be predictable against like a top tier, we're looking at a low tier right now. And we're like, well, okay, well, this is like an actual reason why you don't even have to, and you're going to build the habit of just not doing it anyway, right? Does that make sense? Like, you don't have to like think about
Yeah.
it so much on like a theoretical level. It's like there's a clear cut answer. Again, when you're playing a low tier, like don't run in against them because it's just making it harder for you. So, you know, I think if you play like unranked and depending on the character you run into, you can kind of apply a little bit of both, if that makes sense. But yeah. Okay. Well, I will leave things at that. I don't, like I said, I don't want to overwhelm you. I normally don't do like multiple lessons a week, but I know we kind of just talked about like theory for the most part last time. So it's good that we talked about a low tier, I think, this week, just to kind of give you some like concrete, like, yep, do this, do that. But yeah, okay. So like I said, I'll leave things here. I'll stop the recording.